Hey everybody, it's TheWolfpackCustoms, and I am back with another custom minifigure showcase. This time it is obviously, as you read on the title, Boba Fett from the Book of Boba Fett. And I was really excited to make this figure, I gotta say. One of the most motivated, filled figures that I've made in a while. In other words, I felt so motivated to make this figure because I've never actually made a Boba Fett. And I just felt excited. I feel so excited for this show, and I wanted to make a figure for it before the deadline, which is something I haven't really done in almost a year. I believe the last figure I did before the movie or show came out was Black Widow, and that was back in whenever Black Widow came out. So definitely one of the spotlights of this year for the channel. Then again, I didn't really post that much, and I'm so sorry. But without further ado, let's get into a closer for this figure. Alright, so first of all, to get it out of the way, we're going to start with the blaster, and the blaster is actually from Brickforge. However, they do not produce these anymore as far as I know. I'm still hoping that they make more in the future. I know they had a low season where they kind of almost went out of business, but a family bought them, and they've been trying to bring back old products, and they still have to bring back the Boba Fett blaster. But I got this one way back in the day, and I kind of just saved it for the special occasion, and I used it on my Boba Fett. And I did paint a couple of details on it. You can see on the bottom of the stock there's a couple of details here painted and of course sealed, but we're gonna remove the blaster for now just to get a better look at the figure itself. So I really don't know where to start with this guy, so we're gonna start from the top to bottom. First of all, the antenna is from Clone Army Customs. It's been painted. Top is black, and the rest of it is gunmetal, and it can actually go down, and there's the little red dots on top here for the rangefinder. I did buy a Nate's Minifigs helmet. This is a Nate's Minifigs 3D printed helmet. I painted it, I cleaned it up, and I drilled a hole on the side so that the CAC rangefinder would fit. I did carve a little bit of the circle. I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't know if the camera can catch the carved down or the sanded down circle where the peg kind of sits. So there's enough space for the antenna to still be attached to the peg, but to allow me to make like a little box for this earpiece. And of course it can go down for Boba Fett, and it can go up. And it's a really nice little detail that I wanted to add ever since the beginning. There's the other side. There's the orange markings on the top, the back of it. You can see the jetpack there. We'll talk about that in a second. And then yeah, underneath is actually a clone trooper face from the 501st Battle Pack, or you know, any of the modern clone trooper faces, and I painted the scars. I did look at the Lego one, but I didn't really like it. I didn't really like the white scars, so I kind of went with my own thing and I painted it. Kind of made it look a little bit scarred with a darker brown. And I think it came out very nice. I did paint the neck black, and that is so that it went well with the neck piece that I sculpted here, which, by the way, the helmet is the only thing that I did not sculpt as far as the armor. The chest is all sculpted, the belt is all sculpted, the knee pads is all sculpted, the shoulder pads, the wrist armors, armor pieces, and even the little extra cloth pieces that he has on his suit are all sculpted by me, as well as the back armor plate, and the jetpack is Clone Army Customs. but that's not really part of the armor. The holster is also sculpted. This little belt here that you can see for the holster is sculpted, and it was a lot of sculpting, but I really liked it. Even this little pouch on this side is sculpted by me, and of course everything is painted by me. The armor, the front of it is all painted by me. I added some battle damage. I tried to follow as close as I could to the real thing. Painting this logo on his chest was a pain. Painting the Mythosaur logo was a pain. Painting literally everything was a pain. I did add these hoses, the ones that he has for his flamethrower on this wrist armor piece. These hoses are actually the metal piece from the twisties that you guys sometimes use to seal vegetable bags at the store. You can grab those, remove the paper, whatever, or extract the metal wire inside it, and that's what I use for these. So that was really neat design or technique that I used there, and I sculpted those onto the shoulder here and onto the wrist rocket thing, shooter thing. The belt actually connects both the torso and the leg, so the two are not removable. And then I actually added a piece of cloth that you can see here. His waist cape is actually glued on, and then the belt was sculpted on top of that, so it wasn't removable. So the legs are basically not removable unless you really want to damage the figure. And then of course I painted the boots, the knee pads. I also sculpted the little tiny nubs that you see here on his knee pads. I was debating on either painting those or sculpting, and I decided to go with sculpting just to give it a little bit more depth to the figure. The belt is sculpted. All of these little individual pieces are sculpted. The buckle is sculpted. These two pouches are sculpted. The extra ammo on these sides is sculpted, as well as the ones on this side, and two extra pouches on the back that you see here are sculpted, and I obviously sculpted this. And again, if you guys watch my Mandalorian Beskar armor or the OG Mandalorian Showcase, I actually have been doing this with jetpacks, where I kind of left it visible this time. I take a CAC jetpack, and they're hollow in this area, so I basically fill it in with clay, and I take a magnet and I kind of stick it in there. I didn't do the best job with this one, but it is what it is. But this kind of gives you an idea of what it is, I guess. And then I added another magnet that's actually inside the torso, because I didn't want to make a thick back piece. There isn't enough space in here for a magnet, but it is enough. It is, I guess, 3D enough to make it look like an armor piece. So I just put that on, and it magnetizes very well. It has no problem falling off or anything like that. So that was definitely something that I'm adding to all my jetpack or backpack figures from now on. It's just a fun little thing to do. Aside from that, the entire armor has battle damage. I tried to follow the real thing, but of course the real thing varies. I did have to go back and redo a little bit. For example, the hoses, the belt. There were a couple of versions out there. There were a couple of versions of the helmet as well. Because the Mandalorian and the Book of Boba have different Boba Fett variants, different colors too. So choosing the colors was a whole process, and I kind of just sat with this one because I like it. It's probably not the most accurate, but I like it personally. So, yeah, there is that. And yeah, at the end of everything, I sealed him in a matte color. It's not as shiny, but it's also not as plain as it could be with the look of regular paint. His arms are kind of floating there because of the ammo that I sculpted. If I were to pull the arms all the way down, they would get ruined. So he kind of has to stay like that. I mean, I can probably take the arms a little bit lower, but that's kind of where he stands right now. But yeah, that is Boba Fett. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please consider subscribing and liking the video. And of course, comment. Any suggestions you want to make are always welcome, and I'm always reading the comments. I know I not always respond to them, but I appreciate every comment. And again, I'll see you guys later. Have a fantastic time watching the Book of Boba Fett, and may the Force be with you. See you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.